another topic. This is not about China, and so yeah, I want to talk about the real estate in Sweden. So, as you all know, I came here about like 5 years ago. Now it's reaching to 6 years. But I want to talk about the real estate here a little bit. So because like 5 or 6 years ago, the real estate price isn't that expensive actually. When I arrived here, I got a colleague who sorry, mosquito. I have a colleague who came much earlier than me, and when he came here, the real estate was insanely cheap. So I think it was since the 2016. For all you guys, there were like the Middle East refugees flooding into Sweden, and as well as the other European countries. And for me, the Swedish government is too kind to those people. I mean, yeah, you can say it. I mean, I just compare to the Chinese government. You can say, yeah, it's not politically correct to talk about such kind of stuffs, because based on human rights, respecting to human rights, you have to place the refugees or the people who really need the help, right? They because of the war, they flee from their home country, looking for new life here in Sweden. Then the government have to place them, but that as a consequence, that leads to government rent or the public apartment, or the government have to settle down those people. So in the certain area, I think I mean far on the north of my town, there's a living area or a neighborhood which is built or allocated only for the refugees or for the people from the Middle East, mainly from Syria, I think, or from other countries. I'm not really sure. I don't have any friend come from that group. So, but as a consequence, it leads to the provision or the how to call it, the providing of the real estate market is really run into a situation, lack of the properties that can be rented to the young generation. So when I came here, I was in a queue, because here you have to, if you want to rent, you have to wait in a queue. I was in the queue. The queue was like 400 people, in front of me. So I couldn't get a rent. So that which led to that finally I decided to purchase one. So because here I think my company was providing like 3 months or 6 months free stay in the hotel. I can claim the expenditure, but it was really expensive. Yeah, I had to the company had to pay like 600 one night, or 700 per night. So so I was a little bit stressful, because I intended to get a place to live, so that's why finally I decided to pay the down payment and purchase the apartment that currently I'm living, which I think it was a super smart or super good decision that I made when I first came here, because now if you want to buy a apartment, it is really expensive. The apartment price increased 50% during these 5 years. I mean, comparing to Shanghai, to Beijing, it's still cheap, especially the exchange rate between Swedish krona and RMB. RMB is more expensive than the Swedish krona. But for me here, another benefit is in China, if you want to take a mortgage the interest rate is around like 4.6, or if you take a commercial loan, it's more almost like 6% or something. But here it's relatively low. It's low down to a rate that you cannot believe that it's like 1.5 or something. So it's not even comparable. Although like people here like complaining here and that, but still for the young generation, here like I mean Swedish people, I talked a lot of young graduates, like young potential who join the company later, and they also complain that because I think the difference is here. The families maybe they said the family will help them to pay the down payment or not. It's really depending on the situation. But in China, like all the parents and the grandparents and take all of the savings, and try to help the young generation to set up a home, because if the older generation do not do in that way, it is almost impossible. So here, still I think the price is still increasing. I think now in this town, like in this area, you see like this awesome, like beautiful Swedish little house. I'm not able to afford in this location because it's almost like 5 million to 7 million. So it's a little bit windy. I always talk about like it's a little bit, yeah. My town is a little island, located on the southern part of Sweden, close to the Baltic Sea. So it's always windy. But summertime is the best time to get out to vlogging outside and the beautiful weather. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything that. Oh, sorry, one more thing that I want to share is here they do have like a auction system if you want to purchase a home. So the auction system is opaque. It is controlled by some brokers. Here you have to deal with the brokers. The brokers will plan the view time, then so you can go to the apartment and look at the house by yourself and asking questions. And but another thing that I want to point out is the auction is opaque. So you send the price to the broker. The broker will log your information on their website. But from a Chinese mindset, it is always there's a tricky way to deal with that. You can asking somebody to asking a price, to bid, but it's just in order to increase the final price. But I mean, the owner has the right to deny, if the real estate is too cheap to sell, because sometimes you got the bid which is lower than the initial price of the property. So it is always like a problem in a society. But here it is, since it is a more trusted society, people also really values the credit. So you will get few brokers that will do some like shady things. But when I buy my apartment, the initial dealing price was around 1 million, but I wasn't signed the deal immediately after I got the property. It was like in the very late evening, like 10 o'clock of one Friday. So I was talking to the broker, okay, I'll come next Monday to sign the deal. But within this like weekend, 2 days, there was one person literally take part in the bidding auction and asking for higher price than the price that I asked. So I have to deal with that. I'm not sure if I was scammed. I can't call it a scam, but I was tricked by the broker. Oh, it was a real situation that I just, I was just lacking of experience that I should sign the deal. Even it was, 10 p.m. in the evening. I still can ask the house owner, and I go there, just sign deal, then everything is done. That cost me like, it's ridiculous. That kind of mistake cost me like 200K extra payment for the final price. But anyway, I don't care if that guy can take partying and he bid some more price, but I want to get the house. I will pay it. So there's nothing about that part. But finally, I got it, which is still reasonable price and compared to nowadays. So another thing is, in China, if you want to get the mortgage lending, there are a lot of process and work that you have to deal with the bank. Here, as a foreigner, I was like just to get on board. I was just landed, and I was asking for a loan, and it was quite easy actually. I didn't do a lot of things. They checked my income, and I didn't even have a credit in the bank. I was just like some freshman. They like did a two-week processing work on paperwork, and then that's it. So yeah, anyway, so I think it's fair enough. China Uncle Mikey, cheers, see you next time.